We've been live for 3 seconds.
All right.
Okay, great.
I'm ready. Are we going to kill some time till the commercial starts?
I think we should, just out of respect for
our viewers.
Our viewers and the products and wonderful American companies who sell such things.
And Twitch, our hosting benefactor.
Yes. Twitch, our dark mother.
Right.
I'm not very comfortable.
The enabler of our gaming addiction.
I'll do your better.
Okay, so that should be enough time.
I think so, yep.
Welcome again to Secrets of Kosaten Shiro, the demo of Legend of Five Rings, limited tabletop game that we are running. We're going to see how far we get today. Maybe we'll do one more session after this. But as always, I'm joined by our intrepid adventuring band as a guest game masterer in place of our bearded foe. I am also bearded. I'm not quite sure I'm a foe. I haven't reached foe status.
Foe in training.
Yeah. F-A-U-X, foe?
No, not F. You're a very good
until I level up a couple of times. So last time, we were at Kosaten Shiro on the eve of the beginning of what is known as Winter Court in Rokugan, which is our setting. It is a mighty land full of samurai and various supernatural creatures and horrible Shadowlands beasts called Oni, which we must fight to the death, usually. Our benefactor / governor of Kosaten Shiro, Doji Benjiro, met with an untimely end at the hand of the dark, wicked creatures known as ninja. Our adventurers defeated the ninja by the skin of their teeth, and come to find out that Doji Benjiro's son, Doji Bentaro, has been horribly poisoned by some foul curse. Our Emerald Magistrate, our Mantis Clan Emerald Magistrate, has enlisted the aid of his fellow samurai in an attempt to lift this horrific curse. Last time, the ninja that we slew left a clue in the form of a talisman, or it's more like a little stone medallion type of thing. And on it are carved symbols that are indicators of heraldry. And we spent some time in the downtime investigating these symbols, and the group has come to learn that they are of the Matsu house. Now, up until this point, the Matsu house belonging to the Lion Clan, and this city in particular, have been fighting a on and off pretty brutal border war for a good solid 10 years. Now that's currently at a stalemate, but that sets the stage for our ensuing journey into Lion Clan lands to find our culprit. So, everyone is at the table in the basement of the castle. Everyone has learned that it is indeed a Matsu house mon on the stone talisman, and that it is most likely some border lord that is specifically the house that this mon belongs to, that these symbols belong to, which will be let's go ahead and start with a lore heraldry.
That would be Julie's character's got that.
I
have that.
Yeah, she's got
Let's make a lore heraldry and see if we can figure out exactly who this guy is. Because it actually has the individual lord's symbol on it. It's got the Lion Clan, the Matsu house, and then the guy's house.
Alright, so that's going to be intelligence. What, 5?
5,
oh,
2.
you do both. Okay.
Yep. Right. Yes.
Okay. Well, that one's good.
Mm-hmm.
And then to keep one?
Mm-hmm. And then you roll another dice and add it to this one.
Right, okay. Alright, so it's 14?
14? That's
17.
17?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Plus
plus
three,
3,
yeah.
yeah.
Plus 3. That will do it. You are aware of the fact that this most likely comes from the house of a local samurai lord named Matsu Fuchida. Just from the fact that Winter Court is about to begin, you can surmise that him and all of the local border lords are probably at Matsu Palace. Matsu Palace is across the border in Lion Lands. And if this Lion Clan guy did in fact do this horrible thing, it is most likely that he is attending Winter Court at Matsu Palace.
Okay.
So, that being the case, the group is probably, at the behest of our Emerald Magistrate, going to rally the troops and ride out.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we have any opposed.
No.
No?
Should we mention what happened to the kid? Is that still
The cursed
the
kid?
cursed babe?
Yeah, the babe is in fact cursed. It has, from what we know, 2 weeks to live until some mysterious moon occurs. And sort of at the zenith of that moon, then the baby will either die or, from what you recall, be used in some sort of horrible blood magic ritual, which probably won't happen, seeing as how you did rescue it, and it is in the care of Asahina healers and some really strong, super cool samurai who are going to do their best to protect it with their lives. So, however, the curse does need to be lifted, and you all are now honor bound to lift said curse.
Do we know if if we kill the person who cast it, maybe that's a better question for her character.
Right.
Never mind.
From her
That's good.
roles last time, either killing the person who cast it, or you know that they're inextricably bound by their blood.
Okay.
So since the blood magic ritual, if you either kill the person who cast it or they undo it themselves, most likely that will be how the curse is lifted.
Okay.
So it is tied to the caster.
Well, I believe they're at Matsu Palace over the border. Dangerous journey, but I think we must go.
Right.
Did you, with your heraldry roll, did she was able to specify the individual?
Yes,
Which was
his
Matsu
house.
Fujita,
Matsu
right?
Fuji.
Yeah, he's the current head of that border province.
Is that a name that any of our characters would recognize from court or recognize from previous
He's
entanglements?
more like Ukraine.
Specifically between,
Yeah.
like, is he a general? Is he a soldier?
The two of you would know that he's a fairly high up. He's a Chewy, which is like a.
Right. It's like a sergeant kind of.
I mean, he's pretty high. It's like a captain, or he's in charge of more like a legionnaire. He's like in charge of 1,000 or 2,000 troops. So he's pretty high up ranking.
Yeah.
And you guys know him as being a particularly ruthless foe during the Crane Lion War. So he's gained some notoriety over the years.
Cool.
So if he is in fact the perpetrator, it is most likely that he did it for violent war-like reasons or burying hatchets or something.
I would think, is it really uncommon, I mean, especially for a samurai, to be able to cast or commit Maho, because it's so dark.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's calling on the power of Fuling, so...
If this guy did do this, he has embraced darkness, and he is going to be outcast from the Celestial Order, and he's anathema to all the things that the Empire stands for.
Right.
And the fact that he would even know how to do any of this is beyond the pale.
Yeah.
So he is definitely, if it's him, he's gone well beyond redemption.
We should bring the Emperor's justice to him.
The daimyo, or not
you know,
the
that's
daimyo's bodyguard, or the doji house guard leader is standing here. He openly smiles at that, which is unusual for samurai.
Did Doji Inko give us any indication of anything in particular between her family or her husband and Matsu Fujita?
She, if you guys ask whether you guys can talk to her again, she's actually in seclusion and not seeing anyone.
Okay.
And you guys just know from etiquette that pressing that would be not possible. She would just politely find ways to turn you away until you guys left.
Would it be reasonable for me to assume that she could hear me if I were to raise my voice? If I were on the same level?
Possibly. However,
I just wanted to make a general announcement to her.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to violate her.
You can send her a
personal space
letter.
at all.
That's kind of how it would probably be the easiest thing to do.
Fine.
Because
Then while everyone is discussing, I craft a letter
Okay.
to her.
We're
I
skipping
won't-
and stopping a lot.
Are we? Do we need to restart the stream?
No one else has said that they had the problem, but I'm not.
Okay.
Mine seems
Yeah,
fine.
we're showing 0% drop frames and running smoothly at 30 frames per second.
If you're having trouble and you're viewing on a mobile device, we can't lower the stream quality because it's not a subscribed thing. So you might try switching to a computer. Oh, good.
Cleared up?
Yep, we're
All right.
fine. Yeah,
Back in business. So, the Doji house guard says, "My lords, shall I bring your horses?"
Please.
Yes.
He ducks out.
So it's a small gesture, but before we leave, I want to make sure that my character. It's a small gesture, but he's going to make an origami lotus and set it at the seat of the Lord, like where in sort of in memorial
Okay.
to his passing. So where his dais was, where he was supposed to sit and host, I just gently set it on his seat.
Okay.
And I bow to it, and I leave the room.
All right. Yeah, there's nobody in there when you go in there. So,
Right. It would be a private moment. This is like a leader at court to me. It's sort of like a person who was several ranks above me, I imagine. And
Yeah, regional governor. He's got a pretty thoroughly high-ranking position.
Yeah,
and
for
you
sure.
guys probably known each other for a while.
Yeah. I mean, in my head, I guess. I mean, I don't know where you thought about the story, but I was thinking, if there was constantly border skirmishes, maybe the temporary peace treaty was due to his governorship. In the region, since it's on the borderlands.
He definitely played a huge hand in brokering a temporary peace.
Does he have like an attendant or somebody who scribes for him to send letters or anything like that we could talk to?
Sure, yeah. They'd probably be the same. They'd probably be that same samurai who is his royal house guard.
I want to just quickly address him and ask him if there was any communication or dialogue, threats, anything like that from Fujita to him over anything at all. Anything that connected the two of them, any correspondence that
I would like to
happened
go
in-
with him.
Yeah,
If there's
in
like
the
a
last
head of
month.
security.
Right.
Or...
You guys track down the head of the guard, and he says that he does recall an incident that occurred about a month ago, where the Lord received a letter from a private messenger, and he read the letter and then immediately burned it right after. And then he sort of had a pallor over his face, like he looked like upset all night, which is unusual because he's usually upbeat.
Okay. Once he tells me that, I thank him, I bow, and then if we're walking away, Akiko, I'd sort of lean in to you and speak to your character as we're walking towards like the horses or wherever we're going to get saddled up.
Mm-hmm.
Say, listen, at court I can negotiate my way through any kind of talks. What I won't be able to do is look for any clues or hostility on the backside. So if we get to Matsu Palace, it's almost certain that we're going to have hostility between them. Our clans are at war, or were very recently. And this man, Fujita, was most certainly has a reputation as a very ruthless warlord.
Mm-hmm.
I'll rely on your expertise. Your house is famed for their perception, and he sort of bows to you.
And as well, you are well known to be well loved by the nobles. So if you can get them talking, I will surmise information you need.
I'm confident I can get them talking. It just may not be friendly words. So
I'll help you with that as well.
he bows to you very deeply.
Let us go.
All right. So, you guys, I assume, sleep before the journey in the morning.
Sure.
As restless as that can be. Everybody wakes up. They don their traveling clothes. They prepare everything. The Lord's guards and servants will bring around your horses and all your gear, and it's all ready to go. And you are ready to ride out of the West Gate.
Before we ride out, I will mention to the head of the guard that he may want to check in with the healers and make sure they don't see any suspicious activity in case somebody comes after the child.
We will do so. We have sent word to some of our more powerful Shugenja to come and diagnose this issue as well. However, I'm afraid they won't be here for several days, given the wintry conditions.
Of course. We'll keep Doji Inko safe, and we will do our best to lift this curse upon her child.
Hi. So, you guys ride out West Gate. You have your Yojimbo with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's got... So you actually have a Emerald Magistrate's banner.
Oh, okay.
Which is a big long pole, and it's like, you ever seen a samurai banner? It's got like the strip, that's like the cloth strip.
Oh,
that has
okay,
the writing down the side.
Yeah.
So, except yours is bright green, and at the top of it, it has the Imperial Seal, which is the chrysanthemum.
Okay.
I'll ride up front then.
Yeah. That's probably a good call. And your horse is actually a lot... So Rokugan horses are mostly smaller and pony-ish. However, yours is notably larger and is more like kind of a Clydesdale stallion. And people definitely recognize that it's Unicorn Clan stock. It is highly prized as a weapon of war and a war horse.
Excellent.
So you can wear your heavy armor while you ride it.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's probably a gift from somebody in the Imperial family, I would assume. So, you ride out the West Gate. It will take a couple of days to get to the Lion Clan border However, with the peace, this area is, it's very well patrolled regardless, given the fact that there's border skirmishes that have been happening. So you guys aren't going to run into any problems getting to the border.
Are there any Emerald Magistrate offices on the way?
You are the Emerald Magistrate office.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not supposed to do status reports or something.
No,
stop in. Hey.
Yeah, you're supposed to stop in when you stop in.
Okay.
You kind of set your own schedule, and you have job duties, but you know what they are, and you decide. You're kind of your own boss.
It's kind of like the Empire adapts to your needs rather than the other way around. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're
Your
the head
boss is
honcho.
the emperor, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You're a federal level employee, and everybody else is state level employees.
Have to step aside, yeah.
Yeah. So, you ride through Crane Lands. It's mostly settled farmland. A few forests. You pass by a lot of villages. Every village you pass by, all the people stop and stare and wave at you. And some of them don't. Some of them keep their eyes downcast and pray that you ride on by. But all the kids will be very impressed that you are who you are. So you ride all the way through Crane Lands, and you come up to you're traveling down the main road basically between here and Matsu Palace, and when you come to the border, you know that there's going to be a border fort and a border checkpoint. You know, as an Emerald Magistrate,
Pass that. That's the letter I left. For.
that you have
Lady Doji.
the Emperor's decree to go wherever you want. So you'll never have an issue getting through a border. So you will ride up to this border fort, and you will see that there are a number of... so you ride past the Crane side, basically, and then there's sort of like no man's land in the middle.
Okay.
And then
Right.
you hit the Lion Clan border fort. And at that border fort, there are probably 10 samurai out in front that you can see.
Okay.
And then a couple of various ashigaru, which are like peasant warriors. They have little spears.
Okay.
So they're not samurai class, but they're drafted fighters. They're like cannon fodder
Conscripts.
fighters. Yeah, conscripts.
Scrappy little guys.
Yeah, scrappy little guys.
Well, they were trained.
Yeah, they're trained.
Ashigaru get trained in military formations and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But they're not.
They're not samurai.
Samurai.
Yeah, they're not trained from birth to be weapons,
Bushi's
living
cool.
weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you approach the border fort. You immediately see the lion mobilized. They are very well trained. You know that these guys are immaculate warriors, and their skills in warfare, not just single-handed combat, but actual battle, is unparalleled.
Okay.
So they form up ranks right in front of the gate, and they will stop you.
I approach.
Okay. Hold. Emerald Magistrate. One guy steps forward.
Yes.
What brings you to Lion Clan's lands?
The Emperor's business.
My lord, might you hold a minute so that I may tell our lord here at the fort of your presence, so that he may greet you personally before you continue.
Very well.
So he runs off, and after about 5 minutes, you see a guy who is clearly he's kind of armored the same way you are. He's a big beefy dude, and he actually has a standard bearer behind him carrying around a flag, kind of like yours. And he will come out and greet you personally.
Do we know
Is
who
he-
he is?
You probably don't, because you're not from around here. I don't know if you guys recognize his face.
Well,
I'll wait till he gets closer to
Yeah.
see. I don't want to make any assumptions.
Okay.
I was wondering about his heraldry, if he's got a banner. So
Oh yeah, he does. He doesn't. He just has the Lion Clan and the Matsu, and is actually his rank of Gunzo is on there.
okay.
So he's more like he's sort of like a border captain. So he will walk out and say, "Greetings. What brings you to Lion Clan lands?"
We have a mission to accomplish.
"In the name of the Emperor."
Yes.
"Well, I'm pleased to have you here in these lands, Emerald Magistrate. Might I ask who travels with you?"
These are my deputies. This is
Some names.
Kuni Hiroko.
Excuse me.
You may want to bow.
On the same
A little bit.
He will bow. He will bow to you. Kuni Witch Hunter. I can see that
His list might be a little easier to read than mine.
your mission is grave indeed if you come in the presence of such an accomplished warrior against the Shadowlands.
Yeah, so this is Kakita Yuri.
Kakita Yuri.
Wow, that's good.
Yes.
You see the Lion Clan guys. You see his face change a little bit, and he kind of narrows his eyes, and he looks concerned. He's wearing like a half mempo. He's got like a metal thing on his face.
Do I recognize his voice at all?
I think you probably would recognize him. His name is Matsu Kinsen.
Okay.
And
I know about Matsu Kinsen.
Matsu Kinsen is a seasoned border warrior. He has fought alongside Death Seekers.
Okay.
The Matsu Death Seekers.
Yeah.
He was not one of them, but you know that he has a reputation for being quite brash.
Okay.
Challenge accepted, Amanda. I will say them all correctly.
So-
if it helps you, the list goes starting over there around.
Oh,
So-
okay. Yes,
He
this
says,
is...
I welcome you, Yuri.
Ooh,
That's fine.
come on, my Christian name again. I'll
Yeah,
stop.
that's fine. It's a pleasure to speak with you again, Kinsen.
Get down.
You see him like kind of finger his sword a little bit.
This is going great. Next up, we have Kitsuki Akiko.
Dragon Clan, I have no quarrel with you.
Nor I with you.
Then there is Kakita Yosai.
That name.
The duelist,
One and the same.
he looks at you and narrows his eyes and looks down at you and says, I see you bear a Kakita blade.
I have the good fortune to have such a weapon, yes.
Did you earn it?
Many times over. Stoneface. I'm smiling. He's stoneface.
Magistrate.
There's a Daidoji Karo.
That's
The Yojimbo.
Yes. I am Yoritomo Ichiba.
A pleasure to meet you, Magistrate. I am Matsu Kensen, Gunzo of this fort. Well, as you know, I bear you no ill will, and I wish you great luck upon your journey into Lion Clan lands.
Thank you.
However, I notice you travel with less than reputable attendants.
I take what I can get.
I was able to hold my tongue at first. I was getting thrown under the bus like that.
That's a pretty sick bird right there. Yeah, right in front of me.
I thought I was supposed to be a country boy who's like blunt, you know?
Yeah, that
Well,
works.
no, yeah, I guess that's right.
Yeah, like, whatever.
That's funny. Don't mind these trash bags with me. They're just
I'm just excited.
scaring my shit.
I'm just excited he was talking about someone besides me.
Yuri and Yosai. These names are not unfamiliar to me. Do you mind if I ask them why they seek to travel in my lands?
I do. Our mission is very time sensitive,
I see.
and these monsters must be brought to justice.
I understand your pressing need. However, I also understand that I have lost many of my kin in battles with theirs.
And I might remind you, Kinson, we're in a time of peace.
And I might remind you that in the life of a samurai, there is no peace. There is only the moment of death.
While we're reminding everyone of things, I would remind you, and I take out my jade.
So your
Signet or
Emerald
whatever.
Magistrate
Yeah,
Mon?
Seal.
Emerald
Yeah,
Mag-
seal.
Yeah. That our mission is very time critical, and we would very much appreciate it if we could make our way onward now.
Magistrate, as I said, you may pass into my lands as you wish. And I will promise you this. No man under my command will harm you or anyone who rides with you. However, I may not personally allow these two across my lands.
Kinson, you lose face. You lose face. In the face of a magistrate, he speaks with the voice of the Emperor.
You speak to me of face? I've lost brothers.
You also lost some land here. It seems like our border's moved up a few hundred yards.
He pulls his blade halfway out.
My hand goes to my blade immediately.
You wish to defend your words, sir?
Not me, sir. And I kind of circle
I
my
probably
horse
did.
around to Yosai, and I kind of whisper to him, I go, cousin, show him.
I dismount and gently pat my horse on the neck as I hand the reins over to my cousin.
And I turn to you, magistrate, would you permit us to settle this honorably?
Make it quick.
Crane, just like you, you think everything can be settled with one swipe of one blade.
I'd rather settle things with the risk of spilling ink rather than spilling blood, but it's your foolishness who denies the Emperor's orders. Prepare yourself.
I start eating a rice ball.
Right.
He looks at you and says,
I'm keeping an eye
enough
on
words.
other men.
And he holds his arms out, and his attendants come and take off his armor.
Badass. He doesn't say that, I say that. He's just like, enough! And all of his armor comes off. That's pretty cool.
I'm keeping an eye on the forces that surround us.
Yosai,
Making
I would
sure there's nobody
approach your
running
character and
off.
ask you, may I clean your blade? It would honor me.
Please.
So if he unsheathes his blade, I'm going to pour a jug of water over the blade, and then I'm just going to sit on my knees right next to him. And I'm basically taking the position of his second, but he won't need it.
Another guy who's the Lion Clan guy shows up and acts as Matsu Kensen's second.
Like I unsheath his sword for him, clean it, and then I'm just sitting on my knees, and then let him do what he does best.
When Kensen takes off his armor, you notice he's got sort of a gruff salt and pepper beard. You know, he's not as well kempt as he maybe could be. He takes his hair and puts it up into a samurai bun and strips down to the waist. You see that he's just covered in scars. He's seen many battles, and you know that many of them are probably inflicted by Crane weapons.
I have no doubt.
He takes his sword out, gives it a few sort of like test. He doesn't. It's actually super not cool to do this, but he takes his sword out and kind of swings it around a little in a show of force.
Sure.
Hilarious.
The only arc my blade sees is to flick the excess water off the blade before I resheath it.
Exactly, and that's why you're a crane and he's a lion. So he will resheath his sword and say, "Well, Crane, are we going to do this your way? One strike."
Okay, so is he asking me first blood or to the death?
He's asking if you're going to do an Aijutsu duel or a Kenjutsu duel, but yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I jutsu duel.
He'll say, "Well, I don't plan on letting you cross this border in this life."
I will respond with Matsu Kensen. It is an honor to finally make your acquaintance. I regret only that today Rokugan is going to lose a valued swordsman. And if I cannot cross the borders in this life, I will be waiting for you in the next.
I assure you, the honor this day will be mine.
I just bow to him.
He bows to you, and he assumes
All center
Aijutsu stance.
Yeah, all center stance.
Okay, so first thing we need to do is roll initiative.
Is that part of the assessment roll, or is that its own roll?
It is we enter on the initiative turn of the faster duelist. So basically, I'll start my roll, or whoever wins initiative will roll assessment first.
Okay, roger that. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
You get plus 10.
Yeah. Okay. So.
I was like, why are there so many numbers?
Yeah, no.
11,
I was around when they were
21. My initiative is 41.
Okay, you beat him by a sizable margin. So you are first initiative.
Okay.
So on the first round of a duel, we'll enter an assessment stage. Each participant will make an Aijutsu awareness roll.
Okay. Is my target number still 20?
Your target number is 20.
Okay.
because-
And do on the raises, do I call the raises before I roll, or do I ask you, 2 things if I get 2 raises?
I think you can call it before the roll.
Okay. So I would like to know.
You can pick your pieces of information that you learn after you get raises.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I yeah. Okay. I thought I had to. Okay, I understand. All right. So here goes.
Oh, you got props for saying all the names right.
And then on my this is still my assessment roll. Okay, so then I'll do this. So I got 23.
Okay, it's 23. He is going to... Okay, so if successful, you reveal 1 piece of information plus an additional piece per raise. So did you even get any raises?
I can't remember if I raise on 3s on my assessment roll, but I don't think I do. So I did not get a raise. I got a 23.
Okay, so you get 1 piece of information, either his void, his reflexes, his Aijutsu skill, an emphasis he has, his current wound rank, or his void points.
I would like to know his void points.
Okay, he has 2 void points. He's got 2 out of 2.
Okay.
Okay, so... Okay, so he got right on the nose. So what is your reflex score?
My reflex score is 4.
Okay. So both of you size each other up. Basically, at this point, you're just standing there. You see a little bit of sweat bead across his brow as it's, hot. No, it's not quite cold outside, but it's still going to be a cold sweat. Because it's extremely tense.
So I know from his void ranking that he's basically a cunning warrior. He's wily.
You get the feeling that he's probably about even combat skill as you,
Okay.
but he's not an accomplished duelist.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure. So if I don't get him on the first try, I might not get any other tries.
Right.
Okay.
If you don't get him on the first slash, there's a chance he could beat you into death. So you won that roll.
Okay.
So you get additional 1k1 on your subsequent focus roll, and I believe you have a power that increases that. Or does that doesn't come into play till our focus roll, till our next roll.
Yeah, that doesn't come into play until let's see, it's attack and focus rolls. But that power I've already calculated into my focus roll, so I get an additional 1k1.
Yep.
Okay, so actually it's going to be okay.
So you may now determine whether you wish to concede defeat or not. Do you wish to concede defeat based on the information you've gleaned? He doesn't look like he's backing down.
I'm going to not back down, but in my stone-faced deference, I want to twitch ever so slightly to ask him, is he sure that he wants to die today? Like, I want it to be like an eyebrow flicker. Just imperceptible to anyone outside of the two of us standing there.
His face turns grim and taciturn, and he does not...
Yeah, he doesn't want to back down.
Yeah, no.
Now he wants to really kill me. Before it was just to show a face, now he really wants to actually...
now, before he was having fun, and now he's mad.
Okay, good. Perhaps his anger will imbalance him. Alright, so is it focus roll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is...
A lot of dice.
Okay, well, I get to re-roll these two because of my focus rolls. I get to re-roll ones. So let me scoot these down here. Just kind of roll into that corner. Okay, that's much better. Alright, so there's that. And I get to keep 4. So, alright, so I'll do those. And then I'm going to re-roll these two.
Ooh, pretty good.
I know. So, okay. So my focus roll is 53.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, I did pretty respectably with a 30. Actually got a 31. So you got a, what did you get?
I got a 50.
53. Okay. So the way this works now, if you had gotten from a 30 to a 35, both of you would have simultaneously hit and caused a karmic strike.
Okay.
And then you would have probably both killed each other.
Okay.
However, since you beat him on speed by 4 increments, you get 4 free raises. So towards your strike roll, which is an additional 4 keep 0.
Okay, and so we can't go above 10 keep, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 4 keep 0 would turn into an additional keep 2 if I'm already at 10.
Right.
Okay, so I'm actually at 10 keep 7 plus 2.
That's
He's
amazing.
about to be dead.
Yeah, we're going to answer the question of what his guts look
I like to feel like Matsu Kensen has done pretty well so far. However, he is not
About
prepared
to lose his head.
for the skill and prowess of a Kakita clan duelist.
His mistake was going topless because I got to see from the pattern of scars where not to strike because that apparently doesn't kill him. And there's one little
spot that's not scarred.
spot that has no scars, and I've determined that is his weak spot.
There's
I mean,
a heart-shaped one on his chest.
Honestly, that's pretty much what your focus roll is for. Okay, so we now enter our strike stage. You may make an Ajitsu Reflexes attack roll against your opponent's normal armor target number, which is 20.
Take it out?
His is 20.
His is 20. Yeah, that's with his reflexes.
Oh man,
Just raw.
I almost feel bad for him. Not really though. All right, so
He's used to wearing heavy armor.
this is my strike roll. Okay.
Right.
Not bad.
Well, actually, I should just take out the 3 lowest ones because those are the ones I don't get to keep. Okay,
Do you need more dice?
I might. I rolled 3 10s and I've got 3 dice, so let's see what happens. Okay. So.
Oh my god, that's so much to
All right. So okay, so hold on. So that's going to be 71 is my strike roll.
I had hoped this would continue into a Kenjutsu duel. However,
His head's over there.
that will completely kill him.
Yeah,
Just trying to
because
describe
his
it.
target number was 20, right? So that's
Yeah.
if I go by fives, that's 10 raises.
Oh no, it's that. That was that. Yeah, so that's going to be
For
that's
10
gonna-
raises on damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that would be
yeah. You're
so
you're
hold on, let me do
gonna
the calculation.
you're gonna do a lot of damage to him.
So each raise is 2, so that's basically 20k0.
Liquefied him.
No,
So-
it's for every 2 raises you get an
Aim for his
additional
hands.
1 KZ.
Oh, okay, roger that. Okay, so for every
Duel against
So
so
it
I
should
do
be
10,
five-
so it should be 5k0,
yeah, 5K0,
which is going to put me at
Just cut his hands.
Chopped in half for sure.
10k3.
3.
Yep, 10k3.
We'll meet him again. Yeah, if you
Okay.
just cut off his hands, this will be over.
No, I don't want to cut off his hands. I want to kill him with a single shot.
It'll be like
he deserves his
It'll be
much.
like Norseman, where he gets the
No,
little fork hand and then the little spoon hand.
No, he is a samurai, and he deserves the honor of a clean and quick death.
Well-
he stood against me. He didn't shirk.
He's a tough guy.
Well, let's hope that I don't make a fool of either of us.
How many cubes do you get?
I get 3.
This is why you don't duel master duelists.
Okay,
Unless
so
you're also a master duelist.
yeah. Okay, so the damage is going to be
32. Right.
yeah 32.
Okay.
32 damage to him.
Does he
So-
wound drink?
Yeah, his wounds match yours. So they are going to be 32 down.
Drops him to
Yeah.
down.
Down. Okay. So he crumples into unconsciousness. You cut him all the way from his shoulder down to his spinal column.
And I didn't kill him. I'm a
I
terrible
mean-
swordsman.
Give
I mean,
him a
I'm
couple
not
of minutes.
gonna heal him,
Right.
so
Yeah, he's not gonna be conscious for a long time. So you embed your Kakita blade into his spinal column, and then you feel it just catch for just the tiniest split second, and then pull just clean as butter through his bone.
I silently chastise myself for an imperfect arc.
Hmm.
It shouldn't have caught even for a split second.
You know, you felt like this isn't your cleanest duel. You felt like if you'd have cut him all the way clean through, it would have been.
It's not his fault. It's the stubborn lion bones.
It is true.
Yes.
So it's all
Lion
those
bones are known to be thicker.
years of calluses
Yeah.
It's like
that he's built
I
up.
won't say that. I'm not going to insult the man. But
But the fact that you cut him all the way, that you didn't cut him all the way through, is a testament to his prowess as a warrior. But you do manage to free your blade very easily. He crumples to the ground. His lion attendants, his second, basically rushes to his side, and he is not cognizant of anything that's happening.
sure, I'm gonna flick the blood off of my blade, the majority of it, as much as I can get off my blade in such a way that it does not spatter on anyone, and then I will clean it.
Offered to
Appreciate
take it for you as your second.
All right,
So
I hand it to him.
you would hold the blade out, I would think, and I would just clean
Okay.
it for you.
Oh,
it's a
I
very
see. Yeah,
light,
wow,
yeah.
all right, yeah, all right.
So like
Ceremonial
wash it
thing.
again in water, clean it, and then you.
what is the reaction of the men?
They are stone faced. His second steps forward and picks up his sword.
I would bow to them. So it's over.
Yeah, they will all bow and recognize that the duel is in fact over. Kensen will sputter up some blood. He comes awake for a second, and you see him just sort of weakly raise his hand and he makes some gestures that are kind of hard to make out, but his soldiers have been with him enough that they understand. You probably know just from the number of duels that you've had, he's probably going to finish this himself later, if he makes it.
Okay,
Meaning he will commit seppuku.
I know.
He's like, good job. Are you through playing with your friend now?
All
I
the
am.
Lion Clan guys just go ashen.
Yeah. I'll just nod to you. I don't know how to remark.
The debt of honor has been settled.
Yeah.
Let us pass.
The second in command of the Gunzo will step forward and say, Magistrate, enjoy your journey through Lion Clan lands. And he won't recognize any of the rest of you.
Sorry for making a mess.
I assure you it was our honor, and the position in the Celestial Order has been filled this day.
He was very brave.
Yep.
You continue on. So, you make it into Lion Clan lands. Matsu Kinsen has been dispatched, somewhat.
Quick question.
Yes.
Where we followed, did I see any riders ride off? Anything like that? Because I was watching for that.
Oh, like through Crane lands?
Mhm.
No.
Or, I mean, did any of his men ride off to go
Oh,
notify lords or anything like that of our arrival?
No, it doesn't seem like did they ride ahead of you?
Mhm.
No,
I was worried there may be a spy there that was watching for us or something.
No, they give you basically like a writ of passage
Okay.
that sort of indicates that you're here. And no, nobody is ridden ahead to signal the presence of it.
No signal fires.
No, no signal fire. They have a signal fire. It's
the
just
fire.
they didn't need to light it.
Just in case there was
Alright.
anybody around who knew of the nefarious deeds of Matsu Fujita
No, well, probably not.
and had suspected what we were there to do. Anywho.
You continue on.
It is our usual break time.
Is it?
Yes.
Did we not? We
So if that is a
It's it's 8:51.
perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured that would be
perfect
good.
timing.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
All right.
Off
So
we ride to the nefarious.
we will ride, and we will arrive at Matsu Palace upon the morrow.
Cool.
Break time.
10 minutes.
Great.
10-minute break.
We're seeing our sounds.
So it's 8:51. So 9:01.
901.
901.
901.
Oops.
Sorry, yeah. Let's get. Can you sneak past?
My foot's caught on our toes.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I'm glad I won the initiative.
Yeah.
Because if he'd hit me as hard as I hit him, it would have knocked me to also down.
Oh my
His
god.
Stop
damage
your name?
would have been
Yeah.
So I can start addressing people.
6K2. So
Probably
he probably
better
would have
for
done
the
as much
viewers.
damage, but he could have rolled really well,
Yeah.
and it would hurt really bad.
Yeah. That was crazy.
So
I
that's-
see how this game can be deadly in an instant.
Yeah.
Like, because on that focus roll, I literally rolled 3 10s, 2 9s, and 8, and then it was like 6 5 or whatever, and I re-rolled the other 3 dice to get those 10s up. I was just like, oh my god, this is going to be terrible if I don't kill him.
Well, so that's the dueling. That's the dueling system, and that's how people resolve disputes in this society.
They just duel it out, huh?
Just duel it out. Just duel it out.
So if I'd have said Kenjutsu, would that have been to first blood, like the first guy to score?
No,
like,
you'd have
hit?
just that was like a Kenjutsu duel is just like a normal sword fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have formalized dueling rules. It's just like a grudge match.
So is that an option to duel to first blood?
You can duel to first blood in a Kenjutsu duel. It's not done very often.
Okay.
Like usually first blood is an Aijutsu duel thing. Like if it's a Kenjutsu duel, it's basically like a street fight. You know,
Oh, yeah.
where one guy's gonna wind up dead.
So dang, if it goes to a duel, then basically someone has to lose their life over it.
Well, yeah. If it goes to a duel to the death. In fact, there is one guy named Hideakimo, and Johnny knows this guy pretty well. But he actually brought a Tetsubo. He's a Crab Clan dude. Yeah. He brought a Tetsubo to the duel, and he took the first hit. He just took it.
Yeah.
He just let him hit it because he knew that afterwards it was going to be.
He kind of giggled and then just
he kind of giggled and then just liquefied the dude's head. So he literally took the blade, kept it in his side, and just started beating on the guy because that's the way the dueling rule. And everyone was like, "Oh, it's such a dishonorable way." And he was like, "It doesn't matter. I won."
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's like that scene from Sin City when he like finally gets a hold of him and he's like, "I see you hop around now."
He is the son of the Crab Clan daimyo. So the Crab Clan daimyo right now is a dude named Hida Kisada, the Great Bear, and he's the tallest Japanese guy on all of Rokugan. He's like 8.5 feet tall.
Jeez, no wonder he's called the Bear.
Yeah, he's huge. He's massive, and his son is like 7 feet tall or something. So he's small by comparison. But yeah, Hideakimo is like he's like a major story character that goes through all kinds of stuff and gets his arm cut off and replaces it with a demon arm, and and then eventually tears that off and replaces it with a magical jade arm that he can burn demons alive with. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
I was reading about the Mantis Clan guy that essentially makes them a major clan.
Yeah, Yoritomo.
Yeah, he's got the dual sides.
Yeah, the Kama, dual Kama. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
They're not like little sides. They're like, that long on each side.
Yeah, Yoritomo. So basically, in the plot, there's a big meta plot that goes along with the storyline. But basically, the devil is a guy named Fu Lang, and he's kind of one of the great kami, right? He's one of the 9 kami, and so he comes back, right? And so all the great clans send an emissary. Well, I mean that they all sort of are appointed by the universe to be the champion of each clan that will slay, that's prophesied to kill him, right? But Yoritomo is the Mantis Clan guy who basically went with them. So the Mantis Clan ends up getting promoted to becoming a great clan at the same Day of Thunder.
And maybe it was what I was reading, but it was something like nobody wanted to go fight the devil.
Yeah.
He was like, let him go. It's not... He'll do some damage and then leave. And then the Mantis Clan guy just killed himself. It was like, fine. I'll kill myself if you all won't do anything about this. And it brought such, great respect or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, committing seppuku is kind of like seen as like the ultimate "I'm done with this shit"
maneuver. Yeah, I can't count on one hand the number of samurai movies that start with some lord somewhere committing seppuku because he just cannot bear what is going on, and then everyone's like, "Oh man, I guess it's serious." Like people are starting to kill themselves over it.
Yeah, pretty much.
we need to get this handled.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff like that happens in the storyline. People committing seppuku left and right. It's pretty...
I just know he doesn't survive it. Whatever it is.
Right.
Second Day of Thunder.
Yeah, he dies in Second Day of Thunder. So each clan has sort of like an appointed thunder of the clan. And so, like Yakumo is the Crab Clan Thunder. And,
okay.
I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Bayushi Kachiko is the Scorpion Clan Thunder. And she's the hottest woman in the land. So it's kind of a superpower. She's legendary.
It's good leadership qualities there.
And then Doji Hotori is the Crane Clan guy.
And there was something about a legendary artifact about like a crane sword. They had I think it's the one that Sean... Sounds similar to the one Sean had, but it's like... They find this ancient sword and somebody recognizes it as this like legendary artifact.
A blood sword?
And it's got the handle is actually a crane's head.
Yeah, that's the ancestral sword of the crane.
It hums.
Yeah.
It hums when it's held by its true holder or its true master.
Oh, cool.
The blade actually sings.
We're talking about annoying after a while, right?
It just like like if someone who isn't of that bloodline holds it, it won't sing. And it was a test in one of the stories for one of the characters that his doppelganger literally held the sword and it didn't sing. And he held it and it does sing. And so they were able to sort of prove his
Lineage.
Yeah.
lineage. It was pretty cool.
Oh man, what a great storyline that was. Old
It
Doji
sounds
story.
pretty freaking epic. Like,
Yeah, you don't want
I
to
want
mess
to know
with...
about the sneaky lady.
Which one?
The one from the beginning. She
Oh,
was
Shizue?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Doji Shizue.
Who's the
She,
super self?
she has an interesting story. She, at some point in the near future of the plot that we're currently, well, maybe a year or two away from, she witnesses a duel between the head of the Scorpion Clan and the head of the Lion Clan. And the Scorpion Clan guy wins, and then disarms the Lion Clan guy, and then spares his life, and then turns his back and starts walking away. And then the Lion Clan guy picks up his sword and stabs the dude in the back. So, hugely dishonorable. Like, that's something you don't do. You should kill yourself doing stuff like that.
So she ends up having to hide from the guy.
Yeah, she was in a false wall. She was like in a hidey hole in the
Throne room.
throne room of the emperor. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's where I should have looked.
Yeah, the Scorpion Clan guy had just gotten done killing the emperor, Hanti the 38th.
Who is emperor in our current year?
Yes,
Yeah.
currently your boss is Hanti the 38th,
Don't stab me.
and his son Hanti the 39th is the last. However, Hanti the 38th was a pretty good emperor, if I recall. Yeah, he did an okay job. His son, on the other hand, got possessed by the devil
Fun.
at the age of like 13 or 14 or something like that. But
Fun stuff.
yeah, it was pretty rough. I can't remember. I think it was 1132.
Duchess,
Yeah.
I
1132.
should have known that if you were friends with Kethra, that you would also be good in the Scorpion Clan.
Yeah, Scorpion Clan has some interesting characters. One fun thing to note about the Scorpion Clan is they all wear masks to a man.
Yeah.
Like they're not allowed to see each other's faces. Like none of the outside clans know what any of the Scorpion Clan people look like. So they take their masks off, like basically if they're in a room with their significant other, pretty much. But most Scorpion might not even know what other Scorpion look like.
And they strangely see it as a form of honesty.
Yeah.
Because in their minds, they think everyone else is already hiding behind a mask. They just hide their mask. We're just upfront about being sneaky.
Right. Well, not just that, but their personal identity is not as important as the fact that they are Scorpion Clan.
Right.
Like, that is first. I am Scorpion Clan first before my house, before my family, before my loved ones.
And that actually plays an important role in why the Scorpion Clan champion, Baishu Shoju, ends up killing the Emperor. Because there's a prophecy that the Emperor is going to turn into Fu Lang and get possessed by him. But he kills the wrong one. He kills the dad, not the son.
Yeah. Made a mistake.
Yep.
They
And
sound like very cool, sneaky
I
guys.
believe they sent a dude after the son, but he didn't do it. He ended up getting away. He ended up getting smuggled out somehow by somebody. I can't quite remember.
That's right.
So,
The Phoenix Lands.
yeah, he gets smuggled to Phoenix Lands. That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
So here we are. We continue riding through the Lion Clan lands. It's a little more foresty on this side, but mostly it's farmland and it's a little like you can see copses of trees in the distance. The
You're the hunter.
air starts to turn pretty cold. You think it's probably going to snow in the next couple of days. And then the further you ride this direction, the snowier it has a chance of getting.
Okay.
I'm like Feeling like home.
Yeah, feeling like home because you're from the mountains.
Is
It
that,
doesn't drag
yeah,
you
I was going to
outside.
say, is that an elevation effect, or is that a we are riding north? Or...
No, you're riding west, and to the west, when you keep going, you'll eventually. I don't know if you guys can see this map, but there's a big mountain range right here. If you can see.
A little closer, and you'll probably be able to see better. There we go.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
So the mountain range right in the middle is kind of the direction everybody's headed.
Okay.
So you can see this is the Lion Clan territory. This big orange blob in the middle.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, perfect. So it is getting chillier the closer you get. You can't see the mountains in the distance, but you guys know if you spend a couple of weeks riding, you'll get there.
How far are we from Matsu?
You are a couple of days ride from Matsu Palace, and you guys are not really stopping for sightseeing or breaks or anything like that. So you keep riding, and the border security, I should say, gets less and less dense the further you travel. However, the one thing you do note that's slightly different is Lion Clan lands. There's many more fortifications. Like everything is walled. Like all the cities have walls. All the little towns have like little forts next to them. Like they know how to conduct battle. They've fought battles on their own lands before. So you guys keep riding, and finally, after 2 nights, you make it to the walls of Matsu Palace, which is quite. It's bigger. Like the actual castle is bigger than Kosaten Shiro. The city around it is roughly the same size, maybe a little smaller. But the actual fortification is a full-size military outpost.
That's awesome.
So when you get there, you can see there's units of Matsu samurai out there training, even in the cold. They are, just hundreds of men marching in units. They're all carrying naginata spears. They're even training ashigaru. They don't stop. They don't stop when it gets cold. So you approach the wall. Nobody stops you. The samurai all stop and bow low when they see the Emerald Magistrate's banner. You're easily able to ride through the streets of the city. Most people seem to be going about their day-to-day lives. It's evening when you guys arrive, so they're just now putting out paper lanterns everywhere to light the streets up. They don't stay out too much past dusk, but the palace itself is completely lit up. Mm-hmm. So you head up to the front gates of the palace. The guards there will see that you're an Emerald Magistrate, and they will bow very low, and they don't come up. They just bow like that and stay that way until you ride past. Eventually, you'll come into what's effectively a large courtyard. You'll see sort of evening sword lessons going on in the courtyard. There'll be a bunch of I hate to call them younglings, but samurai in training that are there listening to an old wizened Lion Clan guy describe ancient battles and sort of telling the history of the Lion Clan.
Is it accurate?
I mean, it's well told.
From a certain point of view.
It definitely has lion overtones to it.
Yeah.
You know that the Lion Clan has a house called the Ikoma. They're like the Empire's historians. So if this guy, you assume, if he's an Ikoma, he knows everything there is to know about history, and he's recounting all of it.
So these are like really old samurai?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's retired now. He's probably a monk, in fact.
Okay.
But yeah, this Ikoma guy is is spinning yarns, and all the little kids are sitting there listening with their boken after harsh practice.
Do any of them have salt and pepper beards?
Any of the soldiers or the kids?
The older.
The older Matsu guys. You don't. You see a couple guys with facial hair. I mean, they don't grow.
Hey! They have more for you to fight.
You say that out loud?
No.
Okay, good. I was gonna say like that's a quick way to get me killed.
Well, none of the other
we're never
Matsu
gonna leave
guys.
here alive.
Like,
Yeah.
Are we?
Well, I was until you asked that, and then I was like,
Maybe
No.
Did I actually use my DM tone? Sorry.
you will notice.
Are we inside the walls of like the compound?
Yeah, you're in the palace proper. You're in like
Okay.
there's like
Courtyard or something?
you're in a big like stone courtyard. You passed into the walls. Like if there was a
Okay.
siege, they would shut the gates and you'd be on the inside.
Considering we passed the entrance with the guards bound,
Yeah.
is anybody coming to greet us?
As soon as you come up to, there's a greeting area. I hate to call it that, but there's basically the main entrance. There's like a series of stairs that go all the way up, and you'll see Lion Clan attendants. They're effectively courtier. They wear like full samurai. They got the shoulder pads, you know, and like they're wearing their kimonos, and they're very warm. They're winter kimonos. None of them are wearing the cool, like weird coiffed hats that they have.
The unpopped Jiffy Pop hats. Yeah.
But they will rush out and they will bow and they will greet you, and some other attendants that look like stable masters will come out and take your horses. One of the Lion Clan courtiers will approach, and he will immediately speak with the Emerald Magistrate. You'll say, "Magistrate, we are pleased to have you here at Matsu Palace. Are you to be attending Winter Court?"
We shall see. That will depend on who's.
Matsu Fujita.
No, you're asking her name, right?
No. I'm asking who we're.
We're investigating him.
Matsu Fujita.
That will depend on the whereabouts of Matsu Fujita.
You'll forgive me. I'm not aware currently of his position or if he's in attendance at Winter Court. However, I will check on that and I will get it back to
Can
you.
I tell if they're telling the truth?
Yes, you can make an investigation check.
Okay.
Versus my sincerity, keep awareness, I believe. Which is not going to be stellar.
And I think you have
Oh shit.
plus 10 to the target number of anyone trying to lie.
Okay.
That's not a very good roll. Alright.
I rolled weirdly well.
I rolled really big.
Yeah.
17.
17? He doesn't seem to, like, it didn't register on his face that that guy was in attendance. You know that Matsu Palace, like, just off the top of your head, there's going to be 100 or so samurai who are here for Winter Court, for courtiering stuff.
Just checking.
However, you do notice that he does look ashamed that he didn't know the answer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, the fact that he didn't know off the top of his head means he isn't doing his job.
Okay.
Well, while we wait for you to check on that, if you could also handle anything that my deputy Kakita Yuri may have.
Ah, yes. Yuri-sama.
The magistrates being humble, we would be honored to attend Winter Court.
Hi.
And who is hosting this year?
Matsusuko is in residence at this time. Her husband is currently away at Otosanuchi in attendance with the Emperor. she will be happy to have such honored and distinguished guests this year.
He bows really low to him.
I will prepare rooms for you, if you wish.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Very well. I shall see to it, and soon an attendant will be with you to provide you their location.
Oh, another thing. Are there any other houses or clans in attendance at Winter Court this year?
You see a look come over the guy's face, and you see a twitch in his eye, like that you know from your years of courtier experience that he's got a secret in his heart that he wants to spill. He looks at you and says, "Why, as a matter of fact, we have many distinguished guests here this year. Some of the finest members of Rokugan have chosen our house to visit in such a auspicious time."
Well, I would...
Auspicious being winter.
Auspicious as in the divine fortunes have seen to bless us with great luck this year.
I wouldn't want to lose face at court. I was just hoping to know how to prepare my gifts appropriately.
I will be sure to announce you. And if you would see to it that your gifts are tailored to a very well-to-do member of the Scorpion clan, you would find yourself in good stead.
I just sort of bow to him and I said, well done.
Is that a decapitated head joke?
No,
Oh, okay.
not yet. So he will go off and stable your horses, and eventually an attendant shows up and will basically offer to show you to your rooms and sort of explain that Winter Court is going to occur, like the social event that occurs when you guys all kind of show up in the same hall and have sort of a meet and greet, right? That's going to happen. That it happens like every night. They have different events, right? And so that will happen shortly, like in about an hour. So I'll give you guys time to freshen up and do whatever if you want to attend.
Yeah, my Yuri would definitely be there.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with him because I understand my manners are not well received,
Right.
and in this, I would realize I'm kind of out of my depth as far as court,
Fair enough.
where I can push my way through, but that's something that's not.
You have just enough etiquette not to cause yourself to commit seppuku, basically,
Yeah.
and bring shame upon your house.
Yeah, you swing your title around like you do your hammer. You clobber people with it.
I'm
Right?
an Emerald Magistrate.
Yeah.
You guys know that, right?
Do you guys have any tomatoes on the menu? Because I am an emerald magistrate.
When we get inside, are all the visiting people milling about, or is it quiet, or?
They'll be in basically the Matsu house throne room, where the house daimyo sits. And they'll be sort of greeted by Matsu Zuko and all of her attendants, and they'll all kind of hang out and talk. They can either wander around there's like a big long table where they'll sit and have dinner, and it's like kind of like the one that you were sitting at in Kosaten Shiro. It's like a super long table, and there's little pillows to sit on and stuff like that.
Do the attendants and stuff, the servants and everything, do they seem? How do they seem Because I know the samurai aren't going to show any emotion in their face,
Right.
but do the attendants appear to be worried or tense or anything?
They seem to be a little excited.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like that guy.
After hearing about the scorpion thing, I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, so you kind of get the feeling that there's somebody famous is here.
Yeah.
okay.
And that's kind of the vibe that they're giving off. They seem to have a
And-
quick step.
Do I know what he meant by luck? And
He's
having a lucky year?
he prays to the fortunes. He's a little more. He's superstitious. Like everybody's superstitious
Okay.
to some degree.
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was some special thing that happened or something.
No,
like
I mean, it could be referencing anything. Like just being blessed by the fortunes
Okay.
is.
Just don't.
I would, yeah.
Speaking well of.
Yeah,
the
it's
gods
just
or whatever.
he seems to think that they're somehow blessed because of this person visiting and whatever personal signs he's seen. And
Okay.
divination is a skill in this game. You can kind of roll just to see
Actually, can
portents. Yeah, you have divination as a skill.
I mean, I have an inkling of who he's talking about, but would my character know? I'm thinking from the guy's blunder. There's only one person that makes men that nervous,
Right.
in the Scorpion clan. So I mean, it seems like a big glaring light to me, but
Yeah, you
as
have
a
an
player,
idea.
but I think Yuri would probably feel the same way.
You have an idea. You're not 100% sure if you're right about
Yeah.
who it is, but
Is that a skill I can roll to sort of get some assurances on that, or is it just more of a
it's probably more of a wait and see
okay?
type of thing. But
I want to roll my dice.
yeah. So you guys all go freshen up, I assume,
Yeah.
from your day's ride, because appearing in court slovenly is a poor choice.
I
So
apply my makeup.
yeah, and you
Full
don't.
Cooney Witch Hunter.
You're going full Cooney Witch Hunter because I mean
That's
you are on a
awesome.
mission. You are on a mission. Now technically you don't have to do that all the time, but the fact that you're here hunting Shadowland stuff, like that's what that means. You know, like
Well, it's kind of an honor too, isn't it?
yeah,
Like, sort of have a geisha would wear full regalia, and it's like you show up in full uniform.
yeah.
It's pretty honorable.
You're here to do some business. You know, you're not here just for fun. As in you're in your work capacity. So
Like I have my armor on, but it's a little bow tie. That's about-
yeah, you probably don't want to wear your armor.
Okay, yeah.
So everybody freshens up. They put on their courtly attire.
Are weapons permitted? Or is
It-
that break the?
usually
Samurais are always allowed to wear their daishu.
yeah, you can wear your katana and wakizashi.
We typically wrap
The-
them though, right? Like we put them in the sleeve and tie it.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
That's a like most people will do something like that to make it look cool. The courtiers, the guys who are like pro politicians, they won't have their swords with them because they're clunky and they're busy playing games and gossiping and stuff like that. But
I think all I have is my hammer and my mitts.
your mitts, yeah.
That's it.
You want to take your hammer with you?
Sure.
I mean, you're a big dude,
Yeah.
and you're like people will know that you're a big hammer user.
Just sling it over my back.
It will be weird. People will look at you, but whether they'll do anything about it, I mean, they're courtiers, so probably not.
I don't know if I would bring my katana or not because I'm a courtier.
True, and people aren't necessarily going to know that by looking at you, though. You can if you want.
Yeah, it's
So-
basically how do you want to appear?
Yeah. Do you want to appear?
Well, we're investigating, so
True. So you
we're
never
on
know
official business. So
when things are going to happen.
yeah, I would say be prepared.
Okay, everybody freshens up, and you make your way into the main hall of Matsu Palace. There is probably 30 or 40 people here. Most of them are Lion Clan. You see a few interspersed, different colored kimonos on that are other house kimonos. Like you see a couple unicorn people, a couple of phoenix people. There are a couple of things that indicate that, okay, so the other thing you see is up at the top of the room, or the front of the room, I should say. You see a dais set up, kind of like what you saw in Kosaten Shiro with the little seats. But notably, sitting on one of them is, you guys probably recognize her. It's Matsu Suko.
Yeah, for sure.
She is the wife of the Matsu House Daimyo. More importantly than all of that, however, all of these people are just background. They are not important. They are noise. None of them matter because the second all of you walk in, there's only one person all of you see. She is currently lounging in what appears to be one of the only comfy chairs. All of the rest of the chairs all seem to be sort of military-esque, and they're firmer. But she's sort of lounging on a sort of like a divan-style chair that no one else seems to get. And standing behind her is a guy in full armor. He has a full metal face mask on, and he has a katana, and it looks ready to go. He looks ready to walk into combat at any second. This woman that you see is somewhat scantily clad compared to everyone else. The weather does not appear to bother her, and she is by far the most attractive female ever that any of you have ever seen or laid eyes on. All of you instantly recognize her. She is the wife of the Scorpion Clan Daimyo, Bayushi Kachiko. She is has a mask I shouldn't call it a mask. She's got sort of a veil that covers half of her face, but it's almost wispy. So
Just like sheer.
yeah, it's sort of like a sheer fabric. You can almost see through it. She is holding a fan that she has, and she's chatting to a few Lion Clan people who seem to be well out of their depth, talking to her. So she's sort of privately fanning herself, and you see her make jokes, and the courtiers sort of like politely laugh to each other. So the fact that Bayushi Kachiko here, there's a lot to explain as far as the politics go, but suffice to say, it is extremely unusual that she's here, and the fact that she is here means something is happening. You guys just don't know what. So that's the lay of the room. Whether Fuchida is here, I mean, there are several Lion Clan guys here who are male. You guys have done. I don't think any of you will recognize him on sight. So,
Does everybody have their crest on them somewhere?
not their own personal symbols.
Okay.
They're all wearing house colors, so you can immediately say that's a lion guy. That's some of them you can immediately tell that's a Matsu. That's a. I mean, everyone knows who Bayushi Kachiko is. Like, you all immediately know who she is, and you all know who Suko is. But other than that, you might have to do some digging.
Okay.
Sure. So I turn to the group, and I would just kind of say, if we're in the lion's den now, they found a scorpion. And I sort of bow to the... Is Suko on her dais? Or like
Yes.
sitting up high?
Yeah. She's got kind of a stern look on her face, and she's not really talking to anyone. She's just kind of looking around, surveying the room.
Okay.
She seems to be in... It's hard to tell, but she seems to be in a foul mood.
Okay. I will see if I can go make a gift offering to her.
Okay.
So if I approach her throne, I guess is the best way to say it, I would get on my knees and kneel down, knowing that she's at one of the highest ranks in the empire, and just bow, like with my forehead touching the ground.
Okay. You see her just barely nod her head.
Yeah. That's yeah. Great daimyo.
Kakita Yuri.
Hi. Let's say yes.
Welcome. What brings a Crane clan so far into our lands?
Thank you for welcoming us at Winter Court. We're here for a multitude of reasons, but here to honor you with a gift and to thank you for this long peace we've had for how many years has it been?
It's been about a year and a half.
So for this long year, both of our clans have prospered as a result of it, and I wish to show my gratitude with a gift offering. And so I would have probably pre-prepared, but I've got like a box, and it has it's like a bamboo box, and it has an obi, which is like the belt that they wear, but it's stitched with chrysanthemums from the Chrysanthemum Festival. So it's what I would award this character in the lore hosts a festival in the autumn, which is a Chrysanthemum Festival. It's a big celebration. But he awards her basically the obi that he would award the champion of the festival. It's
Okay.
the highest honor he could give her, other than his life.
She will look at it and say, I understand that this is for a festival champion, yes?
It is.
I have not won your festival.
No, you have not.
You do me great honor, but I cannot accept such a beautiful gift.
Please. You would honor us if you accepted.
Ah, and yet, if I did, what would our next champion of the festival wear? He would have nothing.
He would. He would. I have others lesser obi to offer, but one so great as yourself honoring us at festival. Please, it would do us great honor. Please accept.
Very well. I will accept this gift, and in return, I will see to it that your festival champion has something suitable.
He just bows, touches his head to the ground again.
One of her attendants will scurry off.
With the gift?
With the gift, yeah. He
Okay.
takes the gift, and then she sort of whispers to him, and she seems to tell him something like, go get some object in return to give to you for your festival champion.
Sure. Okay. And that's all I would want to say, and so I would excuse myself from her presence.
Okay. She seems pleased by the interaction.
Okay.
She does look a bit concerned that you're here in general.
Yeah.
But she doesn't bring it up or leave any
Okay.
indication. She doesn't give you.
That's kind of what I was hoping for.
Yeah,
So-
she doesn't go into questioning your presence here.
Right.
So.
Cool. Is Kachiko speaking to anybody right now, or is she just hanging out lounging?
She's hanging out lounging. It appears like people are working her in shifts.
Okay.
So a group of courtiers, like they don't go one on one.
Tag me out, bro.
Yeah. So
Word usage.
so a group of courtiers seem to approach her, and then they have a slight interaction, and sometimes they'll look dumbfounded, and sometimes they'll look awed, and sometimes they'll but after a good 5 or 10 minutes, like they'll find reasons she'll either say something or do something that obviously ends the conversation, and they can't figure out how to get out of it.
Yeah.
Like it seems like they want to keep talking to her, but she seems to cut them off somehow. And,
Yeah.
and you can tell that the people who stay near her are the longest, are the ones that interest her the most.
Okay. I don't want to steal the spotlight or the thunder here, but can I just try to approach her briefly?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
everybody can. Does everybody want to go talk to Bayushi Chico?
No.
You don't want to talk to Bayushi
No,
Chico?
no, I have no desire whatsoever to catch that woman's eye.
I try, and like oppositely, I try to catch her eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I have, what is the
I
skill?
will accompany him. if
Yeah, that
he
would be
wants to
great.
stay.
That would be great.
I'll go as well.
Stand and watch.
What,
Yeah.
what is the
Yeah.
hand signal skill called? Like when you communicate with hand signals?
Oh, it's just a thing you have.
Right, right. So
I
you
can't
said-
remember the official name of it
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
in the
You,
lore. It should be under your doji powers there. So you roll rank 2, I believe, is rank 2 power.
Oh, I see it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Cather says it's called sign language.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It is.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Sign language.
So the
Communicate via hand gestures. Crane Courtier. It
Yeah.
says rank 5.
so rank 5 or higher courtiers will understand this language inherently.
Right. So
So
I greet her with it if she catches
okay, do you have to make a roll for
my
that?
gifts. I don't know.
What does it say?
It says
Courtier
you can raise
plus
equals
intelligence?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So roll courtier
So it
plus
says
intelligence.
raise
plus
equals
intelligence.
more complex communications. Okay. Oh wow. So like, how complicated can I communicate? I know it's like pretty.
The more raises you make, the more complicated it gets.
Okay. So I have to roll what?
Courtier plus intelligence, keep intelligence.
Okay.
What is this?
He's
A sign language.
He's doing a courtier, like, basically they've developed this sign language, but you're supposed to use it while you're talking about nothing.
Okay.
So you're just like, hey, how's the weather? How's it going? You don't catch any games today, But secretly, you guys are negotiating some kind of trade deal while everyone else is assuming you guys are
Completely
talking
like
about the weather.
It's like 2 third base coaches sitting there.
Yeah.
talking to- like-
Well, it's not. It's supposed to be not that obvious. However, the courtiers in the court that are really skilled at it,
Yeah.
they'll know.
Okay.
Oh man, lots of 9s.
Yeah, while he's rolling, and in answer to your question, I want to be in a conspicuous place because I want people to be able to see that I'm there and I'm not off on my own or doing something nefarious or whatever.
Okay.
But I don't. But I want to be a conspicuous wallflower.
Okay.
Like I don't want to attract any undue attention.
The Lion Clan people give you a wide berth. You seem to get the feeling that they're politely ignoring you because, and you just know that they don't want to do anything to affect the peace.
Right.
They don't want to talk to you too much because they don't want to
Right.
screw anything up
Sure.
or risk offending their lord. So,
Which is how I like it.
and plus, you're a Kakita clan duelist.
Right.
They don't want to get challenged to a duel and kill.
Is it possible that the events at the border have made it to the palace yet?
Maybe. You guys are riding
Okay.
pretty hard. They would have
Yeah,
had
we
to
didn't see
send-
anybody send anyone ahead.
The only way, if they had a Shigenja there who used magic to send a message, then maybe.
Even still,
right.
it was settled lawfully and
Yeah.
Well, but I just mean I won't bring it up unless someone else does.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So have ravens? It's not like
Um,
that one show.
It's not quite as ubiquitous communications as that.
Right.
So,
Well, we specifically asked if anybody
The
rode on
magic
ahead of us, and he said no. So,
Okay.
yeah, so you didn't have any riders.
so we know that there aren't any messengers. Per
So
se.
Yeah.
you approach Ryushi Kachiko.
Yep. And I rolled a 27 for my hand communication.
Okay, she sees your hand communication, and you see her quirk an eyebrow in response.
So the message, so I would bow and say greetings, but my hand gesture says great treachery has occurred.
Okay.
Trying to get her attention to want to talk to me, because otherwise why would she want to talk to me?
You see her incline her head, and then the people who are talking to her, she says something to them, and they seem to understand that they're dismissed. And so they will walk off with a really confused look on their face. And you're not quite sure what the interaction was, but you know that whatever just happened, they do not feel good about it.
Okay.
And then she gives you a hand sign back that basically says approach.
Okay. So I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come here.
All right.
The
other
hand
guy's
sign
like,
is,
"Go away."
Get over here right now. So I approach, and almost identical body language. I'll kneel and be on my knees, considering she's the wife of a daimyo. She holds extreme authority.
She seems to take great pleasure in the fact that you're kneeling for her.
I have to. And I would kneel and I guess just say what brings you to Winter Court in Matsu Lands, great daimyo?
I would ask you the same question, Kakita Yuri.
And can I keep making signals along that, or do I need to keep making a roll every
No,
time?
I'm not gonna make you keep making rolls.
So I guess it's kind of the subtlety of it is I'm going to tell
I
her
understand what he's doing, but I probably can't tell exactly
what it says.
Because my courtier rank is 1.
Right.
So,
you know what's happening.
I know what's happening, but I probably
Right.
can't decipher.
Did you show up with him? Yeah.
I was
you're
going to,
approaching?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So who all's approaching?
I think all of us.
Everybody
Oh.
except our Kakita duelist?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I
looking
guess
for-
if I'm sorry, your character names. Forgive me. I have them written
Kunihiroko
down. Yep.
and Katsuki Yakiko and
Yep.
Yoritomo Ichiba.
Ichiba. Yep. So I would tell her that I'm in their company, and we act with the Emperor's voice.
I see. And what has the Emperor to do here in Matsu Palace?
Justice.
I had heard that there was a commotion recently across the border.
Word travels fast.
Sometimes it does.
So my hand signaled to her that said treachery. I guess I'm going to say to her, very recently, the Usagi clan was disbanded
I'm aware of such things.
at the hands of your clan. You very justly routed out that they were using Maho magic, I hear. Rumor says, of course.
I wouldn't know about such foul things, nor
Well-
would I speak of them here.
Of course not. But your clan did bring that to the Emperor, and you dissolved the house for their treachery.
I cannot deny what everyone knows.
Well, you honored the Empire when you did so, and then my hand signal says, and it's happening again now in Crane Lands.
She will allow herself a facial expression that indicates distaste.
Yeah. The long war between the Lion and the Crane. We also have your clan to thank for helping negotiate a peace. Thank you.
We do what we can where we can in the Emperor's service, as we all are.
So, is she signing anything back? Is she communicating in any way that he could comprehend anything from her?
She's actually not communicating back.
Yeah,
she's
just
just
talking.
sitting there having fun.
Yeah.
It appears that she seems. You get the feeling she's accepting how important this is, but this is not the first time she's heard stuff like this.
Sure.
So.
I would kind of just sort of babble on, offer her a gift. There's a mempo that it's like a mask that has the chrysanthemum like on the cheeks, and it's all black with gold chrysanthemums on it. And I would offer that to her just as a gift, and an ivory hairpin, just sort of lavishly giving her gifts as we're talking. But what I'm trying to subtly communicate to her in some fashion, and you can let me know if I need to roll for this, is the Lion Clan samurai's name, which I just wrote down, Matsu Fujita, at court.
So over the course of your conversation, you sign to her about Matsu Fujita, and the only thing that she will say back out of all your sign language is you pick up that his wife is here.
Okay.
And she gestures off to a portion of the room, and you see basically the only person she could be pointing. She's not really pointing at anyone.
Yeah.
But you can tell who it is that she's indicating is a a Lion Clan woman of about the appropriate age.
Okay. Well, you honor me with your time, and I thank you so very much. I mean, you did it.
Tell me, Kakita Yuri, you seem to be rather hurried.
Oh, no hurry.
Well, then you won't mind attending me, will you?
Not at all.
Well, I would like to know if there's any word of Doji Kotori.
Yeah, what do I know about him? I mean, obviously he's our daimyo. He's our clan daimyo. So I don't speak with him regularly. He's a really important guy. Well,
Where might he be attending Winter Court?
do I know?
Yeah, it's probably Oda Sanucci.
Okay. Of course, at the Emperor's left hand at Osanuchi.
Of course, I would expect nothing less. He's always at the Emperor's hand, is he not?
I just bow.
Well, if you see him, tell him he should come visit me sometime soon.
I'll make sure to pass that along to him.
Also, if you have time later and you manage to wrap up whatever it is you're currently involved with, come by and I have an interesting story that I would like to trade for one of yours.
I'd be delighted.
Excellent.
So he bows again, like touching his forehead to the ground. So it sort of sounds like we just didn't talk about anything. We just sort of said random crap to each other,
Pretty
and then I just kind of samurai shuffle away.
That's right.
Okay,
The old samurai.
that's
The old
what I do.
samurai shuffle.
That's what I do. So I look at my companions and I would say, "Please join me for tea." And I go to like an antechamber or something like that, if that's possible.
Yeah. There's antechambers all around this main area. A lot of people are in them, and they're having tea. A couple of them are playing board games like Go.
Sure.
There's not too many shogi games going on.
I
Those
position my body so that my back is directly to the wife
Okay.
in the room, if that's possible.
Yeah, she's in basically one corner.
Okay.
Just from the quick glance you got of her, she very noticeably has sort of a worried look on her face.
Okay. So I would ask Akiko to sit in front of my character, in front of Eugene. I'd say, "Would you honor us with tea ceremony?"
Of course. Did I notice when she pointed out his wife?
No,
No.
So when we sit,
that was in hand signals.
yeah, when we sit down,
So-
I say, "Do I don't know her name, or do I?" But
Probably
she's-
not.
Yeah.
You probably know Fuchida's name, but you probably don't know her name.
So in a hushed voice, I say, "Fujita's wife is directly behind me."
And there's only one Lion Clan woman that can fit that description that's behind him.
I will surreptitiously watch her to see what she's doing,
Okay.
what
So
the
like,
people around her are saying, if I can. since
so like
I
every
can
time
dance.
my character would like lean down, her character then can see over my head and see her, and so he's like preparing the tea set for her, and things like that. And so as my face is like aimed down towards the table, I'm telling them things that I learned from Kachiko.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I listen and nod, but I'm also watching to see if anybody's speaking with her.
Make a perception check. Perception investigation.
Perception investigation. I think I get a pre-raise on that one.
Let's hope.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. Yeah. Okay. 6 plus 9. 35, I think.
35
awesome.
is pretty good. With a free, is that with a free raise?
Uh, free raise is you get
40.
to.
Yeah. So just add 5.
Oh yeah, no, that's without it. So.
Okay. So
So
with
you
free
get
raise.
40.
Okay, 40 is pretty solid work. So, here's what I'm going to tell you. she appears to be talking to pretty much exclusively Lion Clan people. She's very worried. You can tell something has happened recently that has put her on edge. No one else can pick. You're the only one seeing any of this, but you can just tell based on body language and facial cues that something is amiss. She appears to be talking to, from what you can tell, her friends, like other samurai that she knows. And she appears to be having short conversations with them. So she's obviously, whatever is concerning her, that's what she seems to be talking about. So she's going kind of from group to group, talking to various people at court that are other Lion Clan people that live around. So they are. That's who she's mostly talking to. She doesn't seem to care about any of the clans or any of the actual gossip that's going on. She's not talking.
Like, questioning people, or is she just talking?
It seems like she's looking for something. She's definitely not talking them long. She's not talking to them long enough to be polite. You know what I mean? Like she's dispensing with normal courtier chit chat. You know, so that's very unusual. So, and you relay this to everyone? Okay.
I would basically relay that it appears she's only here out of obligation, and she's not questioning people.
Well, I dare not approach her for fear of insulting her.
She will not talk to us.
She won't talk to a crane, that's for sure.
Will she
might talk to you.
Emerald Magistrate?
Perhaps.
I think she would be obligated to.
All right.
I don't think she can refuse.
Is there something we should ask her, aside from the whereabouts of her husband?
Offer her a reprieve from court. It's clear she doesn't want to be here. She's nervous.
Okay.
She's upset about something.
All right. I approach her.
All right. Do you go alone?
Yes.
Okay.
So, you approach this Matsu samurai, whose name we do not know yet. She turns around and she kind of looks surprised that you're kind of standing imposingly behind her, because she's about a foot shorter than you are. And you are carrying a daisuchi, which is a large death-dealing
I might
hammer.
go with him.
Okay, so
It's behind my back.
okay, fair
I
enough.
might go with him, yeah.
Because
I'll
you do
go
have
with him.
courtier skills and...
I do.
Okay, excellent.
As soon as I see him begin to walk off, I'm like, good idea,
Yeah.
and I'll join him.
Could I have given any kind of pointers or instruction, or can I use leadership to give them any kind of... It's a skill. I don't know if it helps them in social skills or just combat skills.
I think it's just combat.
Just combat. Okay,
Just
okay.
combat.
Because I can give you a 1K1 if you have to make a roll, but that's just combat.
Well, I was going to say, should I see if she will come back over here for a discussion, or we could get tea in another side chamber?
Well,
or something?
essentially, just what I was planning is giving her a reprieve from court. Just essentially, would you like to talk
Join us for tea ceremony.
away from the...
all the crowd that you're having to deal
Festivities.
with, and you could maybe entice her with a gift, or that we would like to honor her for a presence or something like that. Maybe she could.
I know that's your answer for everything. However, I don't believe giving a gift to the wife of a murderer right now is a good idea.
Well, I have to save face, right? It's all about appearances.
It could be a sick baby. We could give that to her.
A drawing of
They seem to like that.
STD.
They have
Yeah.
Shaky
questions
tape
to
baby.
answer.
My gift to you is the sound of a dying baby. It's like this.
It's a quick portrait. Yeah, it probably seems like.
I'll go with him, and
Okay.
Since I'm a neutral clan, basically,
Right.
Mhm.
And be like, excuse me, madam, I'd like to introduce you. This is the Emerald Magistrate.
She will bow very low. Magistrate,
retire.
thank you for gracing me with your presence. What may I do for you?
Thank you for hosting us, and
It's the pleasure of my lord, Matsusuko.
we were wondering if you would like to join us for tea or polite discussions away
quite crowded
from the
here.
crowds.
I would be honored. However, I'm afraid my company would not be the best. You would be at a disservice having me at your table, for I am not an accomplished speaker or gamer. So my companionship might not be as entertaining as you wish.
Oh, it would
Is
be
it-
our honor to have you.
I can relate.
You do me great honor in saying so, my lord.
Well,
Please, the hustle and bustle in here makes it hard for us to relax, and
I'm sure
we have.
you have many more interesting people to talk to than me. My services here at Cord are usually short, and I think that if I could introduce you to someone who might be more of your caliber, it would be much more entertaining and worth your time than speaking with someone like myself.
Okay,
well,
quick
in the
question.
interest,
Yeah.
Is she terrified to talk to us, or just really doing the whole deny and offer thing?
She's definitely trying to. Why don't you? Do you have a? Was it probably
Etiquette? maybe?
etiquette? Let's make an etiquette check.
Etiquette? Okay.
Yep, etiquette
I
awareness.
didn't. My basic question is this etiquette, or is this
Yeah, it's
like
etiquette.
trying to get out of
deception.
Yeah,
talking to us? Because if it's,
It's-
deception, it's a very different
It's
role.
not deception
Yeah.
because she says she hasn't lied to you.
When,
6K3.
She's basically trying to.
Well, you
tell
can be
how boring she is.
dishonest
Yeah.
without
Yeah, that's
lying. is the
That's
thing.
that's how Rokuganese politics works.
Awesome. Awesome.
Did you roll Rosa?
Yeah.
14
Yeah.
plus 18, so
32.
32.
She's trying to give you the brush off. She is doing her best to dissuade you from talking to her because she would like to do anything else than to talk with you right now because she
believe
is
that.
busily doing something.
In the interest of, to be fairly honest, we are here on business, and it is imperative that we speak to you, but I'm afraid it is conversation that may not be appropriate for festivities.
How may I refuse the command of an Emerald Magistrate?
Follow us, please.
Yes.
She looks resigned.
Uh-huh. We insist.
She follows you.
Right, and we'll head back to whatever chamber we decided we were going to
Okay.
go
So
to.
I have found my way to the bacon wrapped shrimp stuffed rice balls.
Oh, that sounds
And
so good.
I am struggling with my own etiquette to eat just the samurai's portion of these because they are outstanding.
Right.
But while I sup, I feel like I would have been scanning the room and just sort of gauging like swordsman, courtier, swordsman, like that kind of
Right.
thing. Aside from the bodyguard for
By
Kachiko,
Yeah.
do I pick up anybody else who is maybe inappropriately armed and or armored for an occasion such as this? I mean, is there somebody here that
Etiquette. That's etiquette roll.
because the reason I'm asking is because I'm still a little stung about the fact that I wasn't able to protect my lord from assassins at his court, and
Right.
so I think I would be vigilant for anything that looks like
That's fair.
it would be. So you said it's etiquette.
Mhm.
Okay, so 30, so 40.
40, pretty good. A lot of the Lion Clan people are definitely carrying their katana.
Okay.
So they are either bushi that just carry them all the time, or they are courtier that are just trained in the sword.
Okay. So I don't see anybody with like hidden
Weapons
like,
or anything.
Well, yeah, like bulges in their kimonos that shouldn't be there, or their sash doesn't sit quite right, or
probably not. I don't
Okay.
think you don't see anybody who obviously stands out, even with a good, even with a.
There's
solid
a guy with a blowgun
No.
coming out from behind the
Stop.
curtain. Like,
Look.
There-
If I had
Not
been more diligent at Doji Palace, perhaps somebody would still be alive.
right.
There's that one,
So-
guy who's
Yeah.
who's gotten a little too close to sexy shadow lady. He's got a bulge in his kimono.
That's not okay. I actively
Yeah.
ignored that clue.
Yeah, the
I would be
guy,
like-
the guy standing behind her by Yushi
The
Aramura.
type of DMing that you normally do.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a fair assessment.
do we have that medallion or whatever
Yes,
it
we
is?
do.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
most
just want to make sure.
most
That's my
men-
next line of.
men have specifically avoided talking to Bayushi Kachiko.
I would assume so. How dare they just merge their
the only-
arms
the only
unintentionally.
people- Well, the problem is they would get too distracted.
I know.
Just out of curiosity, does that medallion still bleed whenever anybody touches it?
Nope, it's not bleeding.
Okay,
It stopped bleeding after a while,
Oh,
which is
good.
I
That's
wonder
good.
if
It was
that's
only
where her husband
screaming
went.
for a couple
All the
nights.
blood
Yes.
Could be.
oozed out of the medallion.
So you sit down with this samurai ko at your table, and as everybody sits down with her, everybody there.
Unless someone has come and gotten me, no.
Well, I'll tell you.
Because they all went over to Kachiko, and I was like, oh,
I
I'm
would
gonna stay back.
have
And then
signaled
they,
him to guard
The room is small enough that you can bear with. Like you're sitting there perceiving, you know exactly what happened.
oh, okay.
Like,
I was picturing like 50 some odd people in a big ballroom. type thing.
It's pretty big, but like just from your 40 roll, like you can tell that they went to talk to Kachiko. Kachiko did something, and then they went to talk to this lady.
Okay.
Like you know that this has to do with the investigation. You can follow your comrades.
Okay, so since no one has come to get me, I will take up a closer position to their antechamber, but I will not invite myself in.
Okay.
Well, I was saying I would have caught your eye and
Yeah.
sort
And
of
you'd have
motion
picked
for
up
you
on
to.
Okay, so they do
Yeah.
want me.
Guard the
Okay, so if they want me there, then I'll go there.
Yeah,
I just thought that with 2 crane.
Well, I was gonna
Here
say
we go.
guard
I
the
would have
room.
saw you staring at the food, and I would have been like, just eat one, right?
So
Bring a couple and come on.
she sits down at your little samurai table.
Does it have like a door where we can close the?
Yeah, it'll have a little side door,
Yeah, where we can slide it shut and be
tatami door.
yeah private.
I say,
As private as a rice paper wall will give you.
I would say, madam, I will be straightforward with you. There has been a shadow cast upon many territories, and we have followed it straight back to its source here. And we believe this object is what has cast it. And we motion for
Well, she
whoever
would
has
probably
it.
have it,
Okay.
right?
Throw it out.
You would
Yeah.
probably have it.
I guess maybe
Yeah.
Tinkling.
that makes sense.
She looks at it and says,
Yes, 2 gruff ones over here. Just like, meh.
Magistrate, this does indicate that it belongs to my household. However, it does not belong to me personally.
Lady Matsu, where's your husband?
He's been traveling abroad for a year. He's been on mantis ships, securing trade routes with the Tortoise Clan.
Do I know if she's lying?
Yeah, can we,
You can roll.
make a? Well, she's probably better at it. Definitely, she's better at detecting deception.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, anybody that tries to lie to me is
10 on their.
Can I still make
plus
the roll?
10 on their target.
Sure.
Yeah. And then
So it's sincerity. Sincerity awareness, is that right?
It could be sincerity awareness or investigation perception, I believe.
Yeah, I've got investigation interrogation. So.
Holy shit. That's pretty good.
What is up?
Let's see. I get to keep how many?
Where's your
To keep.
keep 3?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay. So re-roll 3 of those.
You better be a good liar, girl.
So that becomes a 19, 18, 17.
Okay, so that's 26, 36, yeah.
36?
36. Plus 5, 10.
Plus 10?
Yeah, plus
Yeah.
10 to her
Plus
target
10
number if
for
she's
my
not-
target.
Mhm.
For my target number,
Mhm.
okay. Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. She rolled a 25.
Got
So you
65.
did you get 65?
Yeah.
Wow. I'll tell both of you then. Yeah, sometimes it happens.
He sees into her soul.
You just roll like 10 3 times in a row.
Yeah, I
and
did.
Things get crazy.
I got 2 10s.
Okay, so I will tell you she rolled a 25 and that she is telling you the truth.
Okay.
So, her husband is gone. He has not been here and he has not been back since. He's not secretly snuck in or any of that kind of stuff. He's just gone. So it's just her here,
And that.
presumably.
And she believes he's out on trade routes.
She thinks he's out on trade routes as far as she knows, and
hasn't seen him.
that's what she tells you.
Okay.
Is there anyone who acts on his behalf while he is gone?
I have that honor. However, his son is his heir.
Is he also on trade routes?
He is currently at our castle, guarding the border. I'll just tell you with your roll.
Okay.
I'm not
going
gonna
to
make you
roll
re-roll.
every time.
I'm not going to make you reroll for that.
Might as well tell him. He's the super insight person right now.
That is in fact a lie.
Okay.
Oh, phew.
Yeah.
That her son's guarding the
Because
border.
I was thinking,
Yeah, her son's
oh,
guarding
her
the
son's
border.
not named
Yeah,
Vincent.
well, we
He's
know.
not going to the border anymore.
I was going to say, we know that because we just killed the captain of the guard.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, his
As he lays
his
there
he's a border lord, so his
I see.
castle,
So he has
his
a
province is on the border itself. So wherever his keep is that's where the son is supposed to be. However, she knows he isn't there, and she did directly lie to you just now.
If
So does she? Do they live here,
They-
or are they in
they're-
some compound?
this
they're
is their
visiting.
festival.
They're visiting here. They live near
winter
the
court.
fort that you guys crossed where you killed Matsu Kensen. They
Okay.
live like a couple of miles or like 50 miles north of there or something.
Okay.
So they're one of many lords that live along the border. That run
Cool.
on peasants.
Do we have permission to, even though I understand the authority of the emperor is absolute, I still do not want to be too pushy. Would you mind if we searched your residence, your keep?
I would love to resolve any sort of ill that has occurred in my province, and we would love to have you in attendance at our household, and we'll see to it that you are well taken care of.
Might I ask what was upsetting you so back at the party?
I am not sure what it is you mean. I apologize if I've given offense.
No offense given. You must have misunderstood.
Yeah, I don't know if Yuri would say too much other than, are these mons commonly crafted by your house?
That particular
Exquisite work.
That particular mon would be something that I or my family would carry. However, I cannot account for forgeries or theft.
Well, of course, I'm just
Julie rolls her eyes, not Julie's character.
more interested in how it was made. I've never seen the like.
Well, we are lucky enough to have a C. Smith at our province. He has crafted many of our household items for us.
C. Smith?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
TSI.
Yeah.
Will he be there?
I thought you meant like B
Currently?
minus C.
I'm sure he is working away at the province right now.
You'll do me a great honor if you advised me if he shall leave.
I will do you the honor of introducing.
If he leaves, let me know.
I will do you the honor of introducing you. We would love to have you in our province, and if you wish to utilize his services, I'm sure he would be honored.
I probably have more questions than requests.
Well, I'm sure that if you did manage to find your way all the way out to our humble keep, that my son would be more than happy to see to it that you are well positioned to stay all winter.
I'm not sure what an appropriate question would be, but I would
Go
begin
ahead.
asking about her son. What is his position?
He is the Lord there.
Is the Lord in his father's
Lord's son.
absence?
In his father's absence, that is correct.
Has he taken over for the work of your husband while he's away?
My son is a bit of a free spirit. He loves art and is an amazing artist.
Fascinating. Could we see some of his work when we visit?
Yes, I'm sure he would be happy to show you. He's not a fan of the sword.
Oh, I see.
He is definitely a skilled artisan. But
would it be
his
typical that
swordsmanship,
he would be a trained samurai, though?
I mean, his father's a ruthless border lord.
Yeah.
It's probably,
I'm saying that's odd, right?
yeah, it's odd.
It's pretty weird.
Like,
Sorry.
Or she's being
I'm saying
polite.
that's odd, right?
part of his Genpuku ceremony, which is sort of like passing the torch to him and making him an official samurai and all that kind of stuff. He has to throw a pomegranate in the air and cut it into quarters before it hits the ground. So
You can at least do that.
he can at least do that, or he can't. Maybe he failed.
Maybe Phil.
If we get there and he's a goth kid, this is our guy.
Just as an FYI, it's 10 minutes after 10.
Okay,
So we're however much longer.
so we will wrap up this and be
Yeah.
done.
Okay.
I would assume that we would politely have tea after that
Okay.
moment.
Yeah, and accept her
And
invitation or something like that.
Accept her invitation to go visit
Okay.
her location or whatever. And then I would assume we would do whatever we need to do to not be rude at
Right.
Winter Court or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
I get as drunk as I can.
There are some
clue.
people that are slightly intoxicated.
Including letting the sorry, sexy shadow lady,
Yeah, by
letting her know that we'd come back to visit after we complete our
Okay.
stuff. Because I mean, she asked to see us again, right?
Yes, she
Yeah.
did.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
we wouldn't like.
You notice that after you get done having tea with Matsu Fuchida's wife, Baishi Chico is left.
Okay,
So early.
smart.
And
Prioritise late.
as Matsu Fuchida's wife makes her
Sorry.
excuses
Not
as
be
to,
me.
as to how worn out she is and how she has to retire and all that kind of stuff, you, Kakita Yuri, will receive a letter,
Awesome.
and it is from Baishi Chico.
You want to tell me what it says now, or you want to
I'll tell you what it
reveal
says
that
now.
later?
It says, you and your comrades may attend me in the gardens.
Okay.
She says, I would like that story, please.
Okay. You want to pick that up next time for
Yes.
the entrance of time?
Yep.
I don't want to run you over too much.
Yeah, we'll do that next time.
Okay.
So we got Stinky Tank Baby and Sexy Shadow Lady.
Yeah.
Sexy Shadow Lady.
Sorry.
Liliana's making appearances every once in a while.
I can't help it. It just
That's funny.
comes
I've
out.
got to keep it straight here.
Your heart always gets worse.
Get
So-
the bag there.
Oh, this is such an honorable game.
Yeah.
Oh, I should
know.
probably tell you, she does mention her son's name, which is
Oh.
Matsu Jotaro.
Nice. Thanks.
Oh my gosh. Jotaro.
Okay, so are we looking to have one more session of this next Tuesday?
Yep, we'll probably have one more session of this next Tuesday, and hopefully we will resolve the horrible, wretched curse that is placed on Doji Bentaro,
This Stinky Taint Baby.
the stinky taint baby.
That's right.
Oh.
Get rid of this stinky
Yes,
taint.
baby.
Okay, great. All right, so
All right,
so everybody, make sure to tune in next Tuesday for the exciting continuation of this story. As far as tomorrow night, remember that it is not actually Aragos City of Dreams. It will be a discussion with me. This is our off week.
Oh, yeah.
So join us again next Wednesday, not tomorrow, but next Wednesday for the continuation of Aragos City of Dreams. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. I hope that you had a good time. I know that we did. So we're going to go ahead and say have a good evening. And Mom, if you're still watching, I will see you later.